Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. Delighted as always to be joined by Danny Gilfil. And Danny, just seeing Conor Walker stop Harry Scarff in the 11th round of their contest in Nottingham tonight, one of the most dramatic moments you will see in the British boxing ring in 2025. And obviously we're still at the start of 2025, are we? But it will be. Thoughts on that? What's kind of your instant reaction to the fight tonight?
Yeah, moments like tonight are amongst my sort of favorite when watching boxing because obviously it wasn't a particularly good fight. It was a very one-sided fight. I mean, Tony Bellew had Harry Scarff winning 9 of the 10 rounds before that. I had him winning all of them, to be honest. And I'd picked Conor Walker to win the fight beforehand, but he just couldn't get near him. Really, the range of Harry Scarff was a nightmare for him. When he did get in close, Harry Scarff was. I mean, it's not on him to stop holding, and he was very good at that. He was very good at tying Walker up, and then just seemingly out of nowhere, the overhand right, the right hook, whatever one you call it, landed, and you could tell he was properly hurt. The two, three follow-up shots, and I don't know how many shots he took after he beat the count, but it was a lot. I know they weren't massive shots, but he was clearly out in his feet and just an incredible turnaround. I mean, fair play to Conor Walker for sticking at it because he could have very easily got discouraged by how that fight was going. His eye was closing over. I mean, I don't know what in play odds you'd have got on Walker winning that fight, but they would have been big. But some win for him, British champion, unreal stuff.
Yeah, look, when it comes to odds, I was like checking the odds on the Harry Scarf stoppage, not a Conor stoppage. So it was quite it was remarkable, and I agree with you. I don't think you could really give Conor Walker a round, and I think this is what makes boxing such a special sport because if it's a game of football between Arsenal and Man City, if Man City are winning 5-0 with 2 minutes left, Man City are going to win the game. Whereas with boxing, to some extent, Harry Scarff was winning 10-0, and then it doesn't matter because Conor Walker stopped him. Just to confirm, Danny, no complaints on the stoppage from your side. I think I'm not seeing anyone complain about the stoppage, but just is there a part of you that would have liked to have seen it gone on for a little bit longer? Do you think the referee made the right decision?
I mean, there's always a chance Harry Scarff could have survived there, and I do understand the argument that you want to give a fighter every chance. There was still, what, probably a minute 10, 20 left in the round. I want to say I know it was about 150 when the knockdown was scored and the count was over, so maybe around 120, something like that. It's a long time to survive when you're in the state he's in. Could Conor Walker have punched himself out potentially? But if that goes on and Harry Scarff takes another, 15 sort of unanswered shots, we're asking the question of the referee, why did you stop it late? And as much I hate premature stoppages as much as anybody, honestly, but if you're a referee, you'd probably rather be asked why did you stop that early than why did you stop that late? It's a different sort of question being put to you. So no, I have no issues with the stoppage personally. I thought, as I say, Harry Scarff was out in his feet.
Yeah, I just think that when someone's kind of health and safety is maybe at risk, which I think his was because there was a fair amount of time left in the round, the fight needs to be stopped, and Harry Scarff will fight again. Thoughts in terms of I just feel like it's a tough question to ask what's next for Conor Walker just because it's such a stacked division. We've obviously got this fight between Lewis Crocker and Paddy Donovan happening on the 1st of March. I know Conor Walker, who's obviously fought Lewis Crocker. A lot of people thought he beat Lewis Crocker. Spoke in the build up to this that he would like the winner of that if he were to win tonight. Um, there's other kind of I'm not saying they're kind of big names in the division, but there's other decent fights to be made because whether it's Harlem Eubank, Michael McKinson, I'm sure they would possibly jump in at the chance to fight Conor Walker next. There's also the rematch, but isn't there, of course. What's your gut feeling to what we might see Conor Walker do next, Danny?
No, unless it's an astronomical amount of money, and I can't imagine it would be. I think Conor Walker and his team will say no, thank you to that rematch. I think they'll feel like they got out of jail in a sense, not in a bad way. I mean, it was all his own doing, of course, but I don't think that'll be, right. Let's get that rematch sort of the fella, the 6'1" southpaw who's just outboxed me for 10 and a half rounds, 11 rounds. I'd love to see the winner of Crocker Donovan. I had Walker beating Lewis Crocker that for when they fought. maybe against what my national bias might lead me to. That's a big fight. Harlem Eubank. I was thinking if Harry Scarff won the Harlem Eubank fight would be an option because like, I don't how much appeal is the winner of Crocker Donovan, who's probably going to have an interim world title or be a mandatory. But they'd be interested in fighting him. But maybe a rematch between Crocker and Walker be a big fight. So I don't see him getting a fight at one of the world level welterweights. I wouldn't have thought, not yet. But depending on how that plays out with the Donovan Crocker rematch and what that leaves them with the IBF being interim world title, vacant world title shot next, that could be one that I could see materializing. And they're both great fights. Whoever wins that fight between Crocker and Donovan.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think I really like Conor Walker. I think he comes across. I think comes across quite well. I think comes across someone who is maybe not the most talented boxer, but works extremely hard. He's someone who,
100%.
when you look at his kind of where his career was at 2 or 3 years ago as well, it was kind of quite pretty remarkable. And had the loss against Lewis Crocker, which a lot of people thought he won, but lost the fight. And I just think he's responded to that. He's just responded to that so well. He's not gone missing and been inactive. He's not kind of taken on easy fights, so he deserves these titles. He deserves to be on a big platform like DAZN as well. All right, well that's woken you up for the main event, hasn't it? On yeah, maybe not the most exciting card that you'll see this year, but look, it maybe wasn't the best fight, but you won't endings like that you don't see every day. Danny, good to speak to you as always, and I'll speak to you again very soon.
No problem, mate. Thanks.